What's up, everybody? Going old school here with my boy Foots, drinking that milk. Makes a body good. Makes a body good.
Almond milk, baby.
Man, and if you ever meet Foots, you can tell that milk has done him something. That dude's like 8 foot tall. Hey, remember that Foots, dude? You're probably thinking I'm a dang little Mexican leprechaun, dude. I met Foots at the draft, man, and I was like, damn, this fool's tall.
Yo, so many people. I think that's probably what I hear the most is I did not realize you were that tall, Joe. What's up, man? What's up, bro?
What's up, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, me and Joe, we kind of discontinued the podcast. And, in the future, things may come back. We're always talking ball. I text Joe probably still about once a day, Joe?
Nothing's changed. It's just our schedules didn't really work out, but but we got some time here, and we're like, man, let's hook up and talk about it. It's been a couple games.
Yeah.
We covered all these players in the draft, and now we're seeing them second-year players, rookies. So, man, just real quick, Foots, what is your take on how the season has gone so far?
Well, Joe, I think that honestly, I'm not gonna say that I knew we would be good, and I don't want to pat ourselves on the back because I think we do a really good job of judging this team without any. We don't pull any punches from the way they draft to the way they develop. You were one of the first people to tell me, and I was like, damn, Joe's right. Why isn't Tristan Hill on the field? Where's he at? And, little things like that. You know what I mean, Joe? And, and we hold his team accountable. We've also, been on top of things like I think we were kind of first to say that what's the use in keeping Tavon Austin around? And now we see why. We're in season and he's not playing.
Yeah.
It's always something. But it's always something, Joe. But, guys like Devin Smith stepping up. I did a video today, Joe, and my whole thing was like, Devin Smith isn't just a niche guy. He's a real receiver. He can run. The route tree's open to Devin Smith, Joe.
Yeah.
And that's a credit and a testament to Will McClay and how he built this team, because you lose Michael Gallup and you don't miss a beat offensively. But I say all that to say I'm very pleased. I see a lot of people nitpicking, and I'm sure we'll get into some of the thoughts about the D-line and the defense. But, dude, you're scoring points. You're attacking defenses in ways that you haven't been able to attack them in years. We're watching the Eagles team. Me and you were talking pre-show, and we're watching an Eagles team, Joe, that can't cover anybody.
Yeah.
And that won't change in the middle of the season. That just, coverage issues. You got to draft and develop and bring in the right people. Like we had a draft where we had to draft 3 people in the secondary. So, I'm pleased with the season, Joe. What about you? Up to this point, I'm pleased.
Yeah, man. It's been a tale of 2 halves. Every game we played, well, not a tale of 2 halves. I think the last game was that Miami game, but the opener. And then the Redskins game, you kind of want to start out a little bit faster, but they're still getting it done. And the question has been answered, Kellen Moore. I think that was the biggest one going into the season. Like, okay, everybody's saying that he's this and that, and we're going to do this and that. And we didn't see it in the preseason, obviously, but, they weren't going to show their cards. But now you see it, and now you're like, all right, I mean, this looks really prolific. I mean, it's a totally different offense out there, you know what I mean? So you look at this versus Scott Linehan, we probably would have lost some games already by now if we would have had Linehan out there. It's been a blessing in disguise.
You spot on, Joe. You spot on.
Yeah, man. So I love where the offense is at right now. I really do. I think, barring injury, they're doing their thing. You're getting a full year of Colombo coaching these guys up, and they're mauling the hell out of. I mean, even Lyle Collins, a guy that you and I have always kind of been on, for
he's rated the highest right tackle by PFF, and I don't get into PFF. I kind of I'm not big on them and their grading scale, but you know, So the problem with a PFF, Cowboys fans are really smart, and they're really, for the most part, know how to watch film, and you know, Joe, we have thoughts, and we piggyback off of each other, and but we know, like, okay, Lyle's not playing good. Oh, Connor needs help with power and this, that, and the third. So we have an idea just as what type of players that these guys are. So we're not gonna jump off the ship and say he's the best right tackle in football. Now, if he puts a whole season together like this, and you know, going up against some of the better pass rushers in the league, then we'll say. But right now, we're just good that he's happy. We're just happy that he's playing well.
That's right on. That's exactly what it is. And honestly, like, going into the season, I kind of had already written him off as he'll be a departure in free agency. And
yeah,
they come out with the extension. I was like, okay, well, there's a different plan now. Like, how, to me, it's like, where is Connor McGovern going to fit into this whole thing now? Are they just going to have high-end backup talent now? Is that where this roster's at now, Foots? Like, how do you feel about the roster's depth? Do you think it's a lot better than last year, or do you think it's about the same? Like, what's your feeling on the depth here on the Cowboys?
So that's an excellent question, Joe. At different positions, I think we're really deep. So I know you've heard this Jalen Smith conversation. Let's just talk about the linebackers for a second. Not many teams have a Joe Thomas on their bench, Joe. A linebacker who's a special teammate but can also fly around and make plays. Not many teams have, you know, I know people don't like Fleming, but Fleming can be serviceable, and he damn sure ain't Chaz Green.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the depth is good. Not many people have a backup the quality of Tony Pollard. I'm gonna be honest. You know, Tony Pollard. You watching Miles Sanders run the ball, I think Tony P is better. And I think time is going to validate, you know, my feelings for Tony Pollard in the play. You saw the way he was running that ball on Sunday, and everybody wants to say it's Miami. I get that, but they're paid professionals. Okay, so let's stop the whole Dallas hasn't played anybody. They're playing their schedule. These guys get paid, you know.
That's true.
Depth-wise, honestly, you know, I was worried about Thompson in the secondary, and he came in and played well. So honestly, Joe, to answer your depth question, the only issue I have right now is that defensive line. And I know we said we want to get into it, but secondary, I'm good, because I think that if something were to happen to one of your outside guys, I think Jordan Lewis can play on the outside. I love the safety play. Hell, I give Jeff Heath a hard time, but he's been decent for the most part. And then Darian Thompson came in and he did a really nice job, Joe. So
yeah,
the D line though, that's what as the year goes on, Joe. You know, because it's looking like Crawford is injury starting to pile up. Okay, what's the deal with you, Crawford?
Mm-hmm.
That end position now. Okay, the production sack-wise starting to get a little spooky, Joe.
Yeah.
You know, so what are you thinking there?
I feel like D-line is where it's at, you know, and I think a lot of fans fell in love with some of these safeties were available, and I was just like, we don't need that. We need pressure up front, man. It's killing me. I mean, it's early. Yeah, I know it's early, and, you know, they have plenty of time to turn it around, and I think we'll see better play from Hill, you know, Tristan Hill moving forward. But you still look at the roster, and I hate to say that we just have a bunch of guys there, but some of them, you know, Hyder, Crawford, you know, is in his last year, Covington, Woods. I mean, to me, these are good rotational people, but you don't have that beast. I feel like that is one thing that the Cowboys have been chasing since Hatcher left. Since Hatcher left, we haven't had a legit three tackle with double-digit sacks, and I feel like that's a big missing piece. You know, they played with it with Hayden. You know, they even brought in Melton, one of these guys that Marinelli loved, and you know, the names just keep going on and on. Yeah. You know, so it's like I feel for the Cowboys, and this is just looking way ahead, but I feel like 2020, you got to do something more there. You got a good little young piece there with Hill, but throw some more early picks at that line.
So the Hill pick, I want to really wait to grade that pick, Joe, because I saw him do some nice things.
Yeah.
The first step is still there. I think maybe the power was a shock to him. Like, these guys in the NFL are strong. But I think he could be something. I'll tell you this, Joe. I would like to get a big body in the middle at some point in our career. Like, at some point, not in our career, but in this tenure, just somebody who takes up 2 blocks, dude.
And what is it about that? Is it philosophy with Marinelli, or
I don't think Marinelli wants guys who can't run per se. Like, Hill is a Marinelli guy because he has that quick first step. He has a hard motor. Sometimes those guys who are bigger, got to come off the field.
Yeah, those space eaters.
Yeah, can't play for a long time, more or less. So it'll be interesting to see, Joey. But that is a piece, like you said. That's a piece. But all that said, Joe, I'm extremely happy with our secondary. Like, even the way Byron Jones is blanketing guys still, and you may have to try to find a way to franchise him or keep him.
That's where he should have been there the whole time. He's good. He's good, and I give him a lot of props, man. Because at safety, I dogged him the whole time on safety. I just didn't feel like it was a good fit. But he's blanketing his people, man. What'd you feel about Cheeto's last game, by the way?
I was just gonna ask you. Cheeto was the one who. So I don't think that he will lose confidence, Joe. But let's just say that.
It was a little scary.
The awareness, let's say it was scary. Against a lesser, I like Devontae Parker, don't get me wrong. I followed him at Louisville and the whole 9, but be honest, he's a bottom tier receiver.
Yeah.
He has some ability, but the drops, and so if he's beating you and some of these other guys. Now, again, it goes back to my point. It's the league, so everybody can play, but you kind of you want to see Cheeto. You want to see Cheeto, and it could have been. Was it, Joe? Let me ask you this: was it maybe the Cowboys fell asleep a little bit?
I think it. Honestly, I feel like they underestimated, or they kind of sleepwalked through that first half. Neither side looked in sync, man. So I don't know, and that's been a hallmark of Jason Garrett's teams, man. Like, they play down to the competition every single time, so we might face some crappy team later in the year and it won't be a blowout, but they did turn it around. So that is one thing that we probably wouldn't have seen in previous years. The game might have been closer in previous years, but now we're able to overcome some of this with all the weapons. Pollard, Cooper, Cobb, Devin Smith, your go-to-goats, Jason Witten still doing his thing, Jarwin. It's a lot. It's a lot to put on a defense to cover,
Yeah, and that is the stress part. I love that word, stress. Teams, as long as 21 is in the backfield, teams are going to stack 8. They're going to stuff 8 in that box, Joe. They're going to have that safety spying down because, Zeke, the way he's running this year, I'm actually really impressed with how sharp he looks early. It's been quiet, 100-yard games, but that's fine because when it starts to get cold and the seasons start to change, you're going to need him to plug away and away and away. And with that, you need a Cobb. Cobb has been so good, Joe.
Yeah.
I think, has he had 2 touchdowns called back?
Yeah, he had. It might have been. I know he had that one with the penalty. They took it away. It might have been 2, but that last one was just like
maybe
Brutal.
Pollard had a touchdown callback. But he ended up getting his first tub. I mean, so here's the thing. Cobb is so sneaky in getting open and attacking space on the field. And his awareness is like a 95 on Madden. It has to be. He's so aware. He's really good with, once he catches the ball, it's not like Cole Beasley just go down, pray he doesn't fumble.
Fall forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more or less like catches the ball and he's like a threat for another 5-10 yards. And that's big. You know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah.
That, like, he may be better after the catch than Amari Cooper. He's crafty. He's just a vet, man, and he's healthy. And he's healthy, Joe. And he's added that dynamic of, okay, if that safety is gonna just come show his hand, we're just gonna drop a receiver back in that deep third area. We're gonna attack that area of the field with the receiver who knows how to get open quick, who knows the space that you want to attack, who knows how to read that defender and sneak and sit right behind him. Yeah. We're just gonna, if teams don't want to play Dallas honest, because you want to get to a point to where they got to play it honest. If they try to roll covers to Coop, then we attack them backside. And that's why having a Devin Smith who can run the full route tree, having a Michael Gallup who can run the full route tree and be successful on the backside is key. You know, so, yeah, man, this offense, and, you know, you can tell I'm excited to talk to you, Joe. We haven't spoken in a while. So Kellen Moore is doing some things that, like, he's keeping Dak on attack. Now, don't get cute. There are times, just hand that thing, man. Hand it to 21.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
He's keeping Dak on attack, and I like that.
I love that, man. I love that. I love that they're keeping those defenses on their heels. Let's talk about this upcoming game here first. Let's hit this game here. The Saints, you know, earlier in the season when Breeze went down, I think some fans maybe kind of tallied that as an instant W. You know, you're getting Bridgewater and these kinds of and that type of team. You know, they're just not the same without Breeze. We all know that. But what is your what do you like and what do you not like about this matchup?
I like a lot. I like the fact that Teddy Bridgewater is playing quarterback. I don't know where this narrative that Teddy, like, I'm not being disrespectful in any way possible, Joe, but Teddy Bridgewater is just a guy. To me, that's just me. Yeah, he does some nice things, but let's be honest. If he was, like, really good, Minnesota definitely would have fought to keep him. And, you know, even I went back and watched the Seattle game, and just the arm talent and the throws were just kind of like, it was good. You know, it wasn't bad, but it's a lot of Kamara. And I just think that, I said it earlier, you know, make Teddy Bridgewater make every throw, Joe. Make him make every throw. You talking about what I like about this matchup. I want him to make every throw. If he can make every throw, he deserves to beat you. Take Alvin Kamara out the game. Tackle him, hit him, rough him up, use a spy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you're good on it. I think you're good one-on-one with Michael Thomas. I really do.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones did a good job last year.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job on Michael Thomas. You know, sometimes it's just about the matchups. You know, he didn't do so good against Hopkins, but I mean, who does? But Michael Thomas, he did a hell of a job on Michael Thomas. So I like that matchup. I'm not worried about Byron, you know, in this game. So is it Kamara or bust? Like, if you shut them down, are they done, or do you feel they can still beat you with some of these other weapons though?
I do, Joe. I do think it's Kamara or bust, and I think, you know, Seattle made a big mistake by just not tackling. They didn't squeeze on the tackle. They were actually, like, if you really go back and watch and go through that film with a fine-tooth comb, they were there. They just didn't squeeze. I don't know if they thought, you know.
I I saw it too, and I was just kind of surprised at the linebacker play, and I think that's going
Yeah,
to be key in this game because Kamara running with power, running over Wagner, stuff you typically wouldn't see from Wagner. So I think if Van Der Esch and Smith and Joe Thomas, Shanley, whoever's in there, wraps them up. It's going to be hard for them to beat us like that.
no, I completely agree. That's it right there. Get there. I mean, let's be honest too. Kamara knows about Jalen Smith.
Oh,
He may not run the same like he ran against Seattle. He knows 54 is coming downhill and trying to crank you.
Yeah,
all right, and he's trying to
point.
crunch. So that, don't forget, football is the ultimate man sport. It's the ultimate. I'm gonna take your will sport. So, listen, I think if they squeeze on the tackle, play sound football, I think they'll be fine. And another thing is too, Joe, the Saints secondary can be attacked.
Yeah,
really can.
Yeah. That Saints secondary, I feel like we might have a feeding frenzy in the middle of that defense. Their safeties, I think, are a big liability for them. I mean, even the corners. I mean, the only one that I really like is Lattimore, and I don't even know, like,
he hasn't been playing that great.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. So, man, it's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be an interesting test. Who are you feeling is gonna be, your Cowboys X factor in this game? If it's a close game.
If it's a close game, Joe,
yeah,
I gotta win it by 10 points. But if it's a close game, I think 21 could go off this game. I was watching it. Carson has some nice running lanes, Joe. I think 21 can have a big game. If it's the X factor, the quarterback, Dak, maybe late in the game, one of those RPO looks in the red zone. And, and that's what I said in my video. I want Dallas to run the ball creatively and don't always run the ball on first down. Throw at the run up. Because you now have the weapons to do so. Mm-hmm. And, so I think that would be a really good a game plan, more or less.
I want the Cowboys to put points on these guys because I don't want to have it where we're going to rely on Maher. He scares me. He still scares me. Yeah. So as long as we have a 10-point, 13-point, somewhere like that, like I'll feel real comfortable. Like these last couple games, once the Cowboys pulled away, I knew that we didn't have to depend on a field goal to win it because, man, if we ever have to, it's going to be kind of scary. But, that's what it is, bro. I'm looking forward to this game. Cowboys are looking good. Can they go 4-0 and then you face the Packers, right?
The Packers, who are down right now to Philly. Philly's marched back and kind of trying to save their season because they can't fall too far behind Dallas. I think Dallas will go 4-0. I mean, I just don't think the spotlight will be too much for them, the Sunday night spotlight. I think that Dallas will go out there. It'll be noisy. It'll be loud first. I think I heard something today and it was true. It's just like, make Teddy Bridgewater play from behind.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely turn the ball over. And we were talking about that offline, that his whole career, I mean, his pass rating isn't all that. He turns the ball over in interception. So hopefully one of our guys can take one out of the air. You know what I mean?
He will throw you the ball.
Yeah.
He will throw you the ball. So, I think, like you said, as long as you don't turn the ball over, don't make a mistake on special teams, Joe. If Maher misses a 50-pluser, okay, cool. But, the gimmies you got to get. Simple as that. And I think Dallas will be fine. Really do.
Yeah, this will be a good early little test, just because for me, not so much the players, but it's the coaching staff. They will face a better prepared coaching staff with Sean Payton. So, I do feel that we'll win this game, but I think it'll still be a good test as far as like Kellen Moore. Does do the Saints defend him better? The plays and that kind of thing. You're facing a better coaching staff, better preparation, that kind of thing. And if that happens, how does Kellen Moore answer that? During the game and at the halftime. So I like this thing about Kellen Moore. You're seeing a test every game. You're seeing a little test here and there, and I think this will be another good one for him.
Man, I couldn't agree more, man. I just, like you said, I just want this team to don't play conservative. Go out there and outcoach Sean Payton. If he's gonna try to do some goofy stuff. He'll probably try an onside kick. He'll probably,
Exactly.
Yeah. So just be ready for all that and make him look like a fool when he does this stuff, because you're prepared.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be, and then Sean Payton is not afraid to go for it on fourth down. So a lot of that, the fake punt, Taysom Hill, all this other crap. So I think it's gonna be a fun game. I'm looking forward to Sunday night. I think the Cowboys play well in the regular season when the big lights come on. Sunday night, I think they do good. Zeke has some of his biggest games on these nighttime games. So like you said, if the Seahawks were able to put up some runs on them, Zeke surely is gonna have some feeding on this, and probably Pollard too, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. And another thing, Joe, that has been very cool is seeing Pollard get full series.
Yeah.
I spoke on this. It's like, it's good that Zeke can come to the sideline and kind of just watch and see. Now he's not coaching, but he's looking for, this is how they're playing. Oh, this is what they're doing. Oh, I can hit it here. Oh, that cutback lane was there. Little things just to watch for a series. Now you come back in, the competitor in you wants to get back in there and make a play. I think that's really cool.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That's man, to see that camaraderie with Zeke and Pollard at the end of the game, and post-game interviews, I thought that was pretty cool, man. You could tell it was legit. So it wasn't
fabricated.
Yeah, it was fabricated. Zeke loves this game and team, and I think it did. I think he hated being away from the team, man. He's back at doing what he loves to do, and I'm glad we got him signed, man. I'm glad we got. You can't win. You can't win without him, dude. You had to have Zeke, man. I was like, oh man, I don't want to go into this season trying this committee thing,
I can't wait, bro. And it's just gonna get better and better. It really is.
Yeah.
So it'll be like you said. Just keep watching.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is, bro. Appreciate everybody that checked us out here. A little throwback for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Hey.
With my boy Foots.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
I enjoy your car ones, man. When you're in the car in the morning.
Thanks, bro.
You got good energy there, dude. I'm like, man, I'm still waking up, and Foots he's fully awake here making a video. That's good stuff, man. I'm always a fan, dude. So, hopefully we can do another one of these during the season and catch up and see where we're at. Looking back, where we at.
Man, listen. I cannot wait, Joe. We can work. We could, every couple of games and anything, man. I'm always checking out your stuff. So anything we could do when we link up, and I know we could even do another early draft look and some of these players a watch, because I've been really tuned into college football this year. So, whatever you want to do, I'm down.
That's what it is, guys. Like this video for sure. Check out Foots' page, Foots and Cole's music. Check out everything Foots does. I know you guys do. I know we got a lot of crossover subscribers. So hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.